Our reviews will kill you. The podcast so dated that we think it's CNC Umbrella Factory.
Little delay there, but it still works.
Oh, and this is definitely Noob's jam.
I'm getting sweaty. Oh, boy.
Gonna make you sweat.
Nipples perspiring. V getting deeper.
Right. No, that.
No, what?
The V's getting lower.
More chest hair is curling out.
I'm gonna set that on fire.
Knees weak, palms are sweaty.
Yes, and then there's are you the
racist,
sixth?
and I'm sexist and selfish.
bearded
and I
wonder
dragged
yet?
us all
Was that
into
his
my
intro?
sexist,
Yeah.
racist, bad thing. I don't know, was it? Stupid.
So that was the noob.
That was the Noob.
And then here's the 5th best beard in the world. One more down, 4 more to go.
Did you know that
The bodies keep falling.
I was gonna say, did you know Scott was one of 43 bearded children born in the world
With no fathers.
with no fathers that weren't pregnant until the day?
The morning of.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. And what's on the docket today there, Noob?
Yeah, so we have a lot of trailery stuff, and we're reacting to it. So that's a thing. There's Ma and Gretta for the three people.
I have trouble reacting. I'm dead
For
inside.
the 3 people that have heard of Ma and Gretta, we're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna react
are
to
they
them.
going to stop by? I haven't seen Ma and Gretta so long. Like, I miss them.
Instead of the opening
Meemaw.
weekend being like $10, because of our
Mama.
podcast, it might be like $17. One extra person might go see this.
Maybe.
And then Tommy
Or
Wiseau,
that one extra person will not go see it.
that dude is somehow still spending money that we don't know how he got on movies that we don't know why he's making. And yeah, it's very confusing. And then RoboCop, the original Peter Wetland. What's the
Peter
I don't know.
Whalen.
He's a Peter. That's
Peter's
what we know.
Wetlands.
And he's in KFC because he loves him some Kentucky Fried Chickens.
Oh.
All right.
And then we're going to review the greatest of academies, the Umbrella Academies.
Not the Fine Art Academy, but
Not the
Umbrella.
Academy Awards, but the Academy Awards for umbrellas.
No, much like the Academy Awards will make you wet, the Umbrella Academy
Will
will
keep
keep
you
you
dry.
dry.
Like the Sahara. And then we might take
Like
a
a
visit
date with Noob.
to a dungeon. Who knows? Someone might be there. Someone might not. There could be dragons. We never know.
If they're
It's a
still
magical
breathing.
place.
There could be dragons.
There could
in
be.
said dungeon. Ah, yes, I
Yes.
get that. I get that now.
Do you get it?
I wasn't sure at first, but now I get it.
I'm glad you get it.
That was a tease. Good booze and news.
Friends, I have good news for you today.
Yeah. So the first pair of trailers we wasted our lives a little earlier watching, Ma and Gretta. So apparently horror movies have fallen so poorly down the rabbit hole that they have to. I honestly don't know what these movies are.
I think they've just run out of things to scare people with.
So they're going with the only thing that scares people anymore.
old people.
Old people.
Old people.
Yeah.
Because you had, guys in masks and monsters and what was that movie, Final Destination, where like everything is scary.
Everything killed you.
Everything can kill
And then
you.
little
Everything is
dolls.
not awesome.
Then there were little dolls
Little
that were
dolls.
killing people.
Yeah. They've literally just there's dogs that kill
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Well, that was the original one. Cujo was like the original dog.
But at least like that's
Yeah, at least it was an idea.
I understand why people are scared of big dogs that
Yeah.
can kill people. But old people, not so sure about that.
Depends.
Yes, depends.
They're terrifying. They are terrifying.
That's the thing. Like, really, what are they going to do? Like, Ma, a bunch of teenagers want
She's
alcohol.
gonna buy them drinks.
So she's like, hey, elderly lady walking into store, can you buy us kids a bunch of alcohols? Sure thing. Oh, I bought you alcohol, but now come to my weird, creepy house. There's a basement you can drink in. And they just are like, yeah, sure, why not?
That seems unrealistic.
Well, yeah,
That seems
because,
cool.
Well, because it's in the script.
Yeah. And then what? Greta's like,
So it's
I
a-
found this bag. I'm gonna give it back to you, old lady.
Yeah, and then that she is Greta. The old lady is Greta.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Greta's not giving the old lady back. Wait, I don't know.
Oh, she's giving her the bag.
Oh, she get the
And
bag.
she's just lonely and then becomes increasingly more psychotic and wants to eat Chloe Grace Moretz' face.
It's along the lines of a stalker story, but instead of a guy or a girl being the stalker, it's a mother-daughter thing.
Yeah. See,
You
like
know-
that's a little more believable because it's like a one-on-one thing. Ma.
It's a different take on.
It's a one-on
It's
many?
a different take on the stalker storyline.
Yeah, but like Ma, it's one single elderly woman versus like a group of teenagers.
Teenagers are pretty useless, so
They could
Teenagers
just
are
fucking-
very useless. There's also nothing quite as terrifying as an older black lady
well. Speaking of
because
teenagers,
they will whoop your ass.
that she will. Yeah,
You step out of line, they gonna
Grandma.
whoop your ass.
yeah. Grandma might take a switch to you.
I
So,
had,
all
I,
right.
had, I had plenty of friends growing up. I was terrified of grandma.
Okay. Maybe there's now a niche market for grandma horror.
But that was more like she was trying to keep your ass in line. She wasn't looking to have a drink with you.
That's how she gets you.
In Ma, she's more just looking for a friend.
Well, aren't we all looking for friends?
Aren't we all? Especially
in the
like
end?
that's what the older people want. They're just looking for someone to talk to,
That's how it starts. They're just looking for a friend.
and then you're stuck there for hours upon hours as they keep telling you the same story over and over again
Offering you
about their
Werther's.
poodle that died 80 years ago.
That's the real horror.
Baking cookies. I mean, if she baked me cookies, then I'd be like, all right, maybe
Hell
I'll come
yeah.
over for a drink.
Yeah.
I
What
would
if they
fully
were
rock-
like?
rock some sugar
Rapey cookies?
What are the worst cookies you could think of? Like,
Oatmeal raisin.
No. Oatmeal raisins okay.
okay, so let's go one step lower. Fruitcake.
Oh, God.
What
Fruitcake
if
is
she
the devil.
cooked you fruitcake.
Fruitcake
Or
cookies?
she made you meatloaf.
Oh, God.
Oh, there you go. There's
I'd
nothing-
rather get gang raped in prison than
Oh,
eat meatloaf.
There's nothing worse than grandma's meatloaf.
There's nothing worse than
There's
meatloaf.
no amount of ketchup in this world can save that dry lump that used to be fake meat.
Yes. I would rather have the singer Meatloaf shove his meatloaf in my mouth than eat actual meatloaf.
All of those things are horrific.
Yes. But especially meatloaf.
Meatloaf is like 10 hamburgers that got together and then died in
Fermented.
their dreams.
Is Scott just agreeing with me? Because I feel like everyone else doesn't hate meatloaf like I hate meatloaf.
Look, growing up, like meatloaf, if you do it right, meatloaf can work. But the closer
No.
you are to like a hamburger consistency, the better off you are. It's when it's dry, because so many people make meatloaf and it's dry. If you can make it where it's actually still has some moisture to it, a couple seasonings on it, and you do it right, yeah, it's good. But everyone associates meatloaf with just this dried out hunk of death.
When
What
it
about
comes down to
liquefied
it,
meatloaf?
Liquefied?
Like gooey, liquidy.
Oh,
I
like
don't know.
more of like a soupy mix?
Like if you cooked it in a bowl.
what
In a
the-
bowl or no.
I'm getting sick to my
crock
stomach
pot?
right now.
Meatloaf in a crock pot. Who would ever do that?
That sounds
No,
why?
like even more stupid. Like add peppers and onions to it and make it more of a
That
broth.
would be. We would call that chili.
That would be chili.
Scott.
Yeah,
And chili is fine.
chili's fine. Chili is a meatloaf base turned into something good.
There you go.
Chili's okay. It's just okay.
It depends on who makes it. Again, because there's so many different ways to make it.
Jesus couldn't make a good meatloaf. I'm just putting
I'm
it out
pretty
there.
sure he could.
He would
No.
just turn it. He would turn it to bread. That's the
Again,
problem.
if you're gonna have meatloaf, why not just
And
make a
wine.
hamburger?
And
Dude,
wine.
if Jesus could turn meatloaf into bread and wine, I'd be okay with
Hell,
that.
and then I'd be like, bring on more meatloaf. Come on.
Anytime, all the time. So
It'd be like-
that's a
it would
yay
be
for
like
meatloaf.
paradise by the dashboard lights.
Yeah, meatloaf.
Speaking of other things
a-
that are shitty,
Meatloaf reference.
Tommy Wiseau, the
Don't
lovable,
you speak ill of
Who?
the
Tommy
lovable
Wiseau.
and fantastic director of The Room, most famously known from James Franco's portrayal of Tommy Wiseau directing The Room in the movie called The Disaster Artist. If you're not confused after listening to what I just said, more power to you. You should have meatloaf.
No, it makes sense. He's a director of a really bad movie that's
Yes.
a cult classic called The Room.
And now he's making a really other bad movie called Big Shark. And we watched the trailer, folks.
Was that for real?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's for real.
That's legit. That's not like somebody spoofing or like, making a joke.
He spent monies, and he will release a movie.
Was it a lot of monies?
I hope it's not a lot of monies.
Supposedly, he spent like $5 million on The Room. Supposedly.
That makes me sad.
Wow.
There's like a whole thing in The Disaster Artist where he's like, no one thought the checks were real, and they were.
Well, I feel bad for him. I only spent, $50,000 on my disaster, and no one's gonna fucking ever see it. $5 million?
Yeah, $5
But
million.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people have seen that movie though, The Room. At this point,
Yeah, it
It's
wasn't like,
a-
but the Disaster Artist was the reason that people saw it.
no, it was a cult classic before that.
Oh.
Yeah, he basically just piggybacked on it and did his impression of the guy.
Well, Guy, what's his name again?
Tommy Wiseau.
Well, Tommy Wiseau, I feel for you because, like you, I know what it's like to spend a fuck ton of money on a project that is a piece of shit.
Yeah, except he's independently wealthy.
Yeah, that part I'm working on.
But so we watched the trailer for Big Shark, and
What's it about, there, noob?
I fuck if I do. We all watched it. Do you know what it's about?
What would a movie
It
called
looked
Big
like they
Shark
were
be
at
about?
dinner.
There's definitely some slapping.
Women slapped a bunch of men. I don't know if it was multiple men, one guy, and then they walk into the street. Looks like L.A. And then just fucking water seeps out of nowhere. The CGI looking most shit, and then a giant shark eats someone in the background. And then there's a bunch of
L.A.
sexual moaning at the end.
What is
with-
this? Volcano meets Jaws?
Yeah, I don't know what.
When does Tommy Lee Jones show up?
Maybe he will. How dare you criticize?
He'll save the day
Yeah, from a giant shark.
from giant sharks.
I think it sounds perfect.
So we're led to believe that this show is about sharks.
that would
big
be
sharks.
the impression.
That would be our assumption.
Yes.
No, one would just say one singular big shark. It's not
Oh.
called big sharks, just big shark.
Well, the Meg was singular too, and there turned out to be a couple of them.
That's fair.
It wasn't the
capitalizing-
Megs.
That's a fair move. That's a fair point.
Maybe this movie is backed by the Chinese government. We just don't know it yet.
Perhaps this is their cover story for them releasing the giant sharks.
On us.
Release the sharks!
Yes.
All this shark talk is making me hungry for some chicken, some robot chicken, but not actually the show Robot Chicken. Some robot hand delivered
You didn't
chicken.
plan that one, did you?
No.
No.
He just stumbled through it.
Yeah.
Stumbled and bumbled.
I mean, it was a good attempt at a transition.
It was a
but
segue.
You failed.
I rode that segue all the way to KFC to get a
Failed.
honey gold mustard.
To get a
Honey
sugar
gold
one of those-
chicken. Sugar chicken. That's all you wanted was some sugar chicken.
one of those chicken sandwiches. One of those chicken on chicken with ham in between.
Do you think that one of the 11 herbs and ingredients
Is
or
semen.
whatever
Herbs and spices?
herbs and spices is sugar?
yeah,
Probably.
yeah. I'd put money that sugar is one of those herbs and spices.
Sugar chicken?
Yeah.
It's actually just a bunch of guys named Herb that
Actually-
got ground up.
Herb. the true secret ingredient to KFC chicken is people. Yeah, because sugar chicken is actually that's a joke about
That's a Panda Express.
Panda Express
Yes.
is sugar chicken.
It's sugar chicken.
Good. Well, KFC chicken paired up with RoboCop
some sugar chicken?
for some extra special chicken delivered by the original Peter Whalen himself.
I am RoboCop. I don't have any lines
Wow,
for
that
RoboCop.
I am cop that is robot.
That was an amazing imitation there, Z.
Put your gun down. I don't know.
Well, Z.
I don't know. Give me what's a RoboCop line?
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie in 80 years.
The only thing I remember is the guy getting shot a lot, and it was rated R. Put the gun down. He doesn't have any iconic lines. He must have some.
robotically. Is that a...
I'll molest you with my robotic something.
I'm a robot from
Oh,
the
I
waist
know.
down.
Where is Kane? That's from RoboCop 2.
Yes, where is Kane?
So
Yeah.
anybody excited that Peter Whalen is working with KFC? Why is this a news story? Fucking Christ.
Why? Because
Yeah.
Peter Whalen is amazing and the commercials are hilarious.
I mean, it is cool.
Wait, damn it.
The original RoboCop's doing it.
Dead. Oh, come on. Damn it. This is stupid. There it is. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Dude, well, he has like a real manly voice. He doesn't have like a robot voice.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Yeah, no. That just sounds like a really...
That's an actual line from it, though.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Murphy.
Come quietly, or there will be trouble.
Does he say Murphy a lot? Murphy. Where is Murphy? Or is he Murphy?
Nobody watched RoboCop, so
Everybody saw RoboCop.
they're going after a niche audience at this point. Everyone who watched RoboCop is probably in a wheelchair.
Actually, yeah, they're like, the old man says, "Nice shooting, son. What's your name?"
RoboCop.
Murphy,
He says, maybe his name is Murphy.
your move, creep.
Okay, that's one. Top
So-
movie
Excuse me,
RoboCop.
I have to go somewhere. There is a crime happening.
Those are all
really
awful.
bad line. So do we
Yeah,
think
those are all lines
RoboCop,
from RoboCop.
RoboCop is going to boost sales for KFC? Or does nobody really give a shit?
No, I think it's funny, and he laughs really funny.
They're funny commercials. They're good, and KFC's been pretty good about making funny commercials. That's like one of their niches that they're, successful at.
And he does have to protect that recipe.
And
does.
the recipe, which is actually stored in Sweden in the underground vaults.
In that, Bonfa or whatever it's called.
Banifa.
But whatever. That vault.
Nobody can know how much pig dick is actually in each chicken sandwich.
The answer? Lots.
Lots of pig dick.
There's lots.
But,
There
Do you
is
even have a
lots of
guess?
pig
That's your
dick
guess?
in these chicken
what?
Is that,
cutlets.
Is that my guess as to
is
what's
that
in
your guess as to what the secret recipe is?
pig dick? Yeah, most likely.
Do you not like KFC or
No, I
something?
like KFC. It's just probably not fucking chicken.
He also
dude.
loves pig dick.
yeah.
Because what a great idea it was to replace the buns with slabs of chicken.
Wasn't that Taco Bell?
No, that was KFC did that. They
Really?
they made a sandwich. I can't remember what it was called, but it was
The chicken
two slabs.
McChicken.
There's 2 slabs of chicken
With like lettuce and tomato and
no, there was no less. No, healthy shit. Fuck no. It was 2 slabs of breaded chicken with cheese and ham in the middle.
it was cancer.
I actually had one years and years ago when it first came out. I'm like, I gotta try this.
The chicken McHam sandwich.
It tasted like regret.
Somebody's up too late there.
I was. I didn't have enough potato gluten-free vodka.
Pulling his pudding.
I need some
Pulling-
pig dick to
pulling
really
his pud.
revitalize me.
Okay, so yes, it was called the Double Down.
The double
The
down.
Double Down. It was a dish offered by KFC where a sandwich is formed by 2 pieces of fried chicken rather than the more usual 2 halves of bread roll. The Double Down contains bacon, cheese, and sauce between 2 pieces of chicken fillet.
That just sounds like
I need it.
real.
Need it in my mouth.
Variants
Needs it.
offered by KFC include grilled instead of fried chicken and fillets with zinger spicy coating.
I need the meat.
Interesting.
That meat.
Sounds tasty.
And
Yeah.
they offered this all over the world.
Worldwide.
Wow.
So,
Well, good for KFC.
yeah, we should just get some KFC and take a little trip to the dungeon and have a nice picnic.
Go get some chicken.
You can play with my dragon.
Way to fucking give me a fucking chance.
Yeah, way to
prep
not
for
give
that
him a heads up.
Yeah.
asshole.
Oh, Scott.
He didn't
not
clean up
prepared.
before he went down there.
I still haven't
prepared.
cleaned up.
He has to clean up.
Just gonna have to deal with it.
Who's going down?
Come on down to the dungeon.
Is Noob Noob actually invited down in the dungeon this
hi.
time?
Is someone finally there? It's been a couple of weeks. I've had to eat my own semen for sustenance. It tastes very salty, but I kind of like it.
Shut up, you.
Oh,
I said shut up.
oh,
Let's bring this echo down a little bit. That's a little annoying.
That's a little much.
All right. So what was I in the dungeon for this week?
I don't
Trying to
know.
remember, I
Probably
forget.
to release me.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully.
Singing.
Yeah.
In the rain.
Too much singing.
Yes, too much singing. So, I had a friend of mine who said, "Hey, Scott, why don't you watch the show so we have something to talk about?" Because I don't have things to talk about with my friends with because I'm very awkward in social situations. The Masked Singer.
That's like a thing, right?
This
On
show,
what channel?
This
ABC or
show, I
something?
don't know what channel it's on. I don't remember because I just like push the button on the Xfinity remote and say, "Hey, show me crappy reality shows," and The Masked Singer was the first thing to pop up. This piece of shit.
Is it really on Fox?
Somehow, yes.
Yeah, we should have known
Fox.
it was a piece of crap on Fox.
Because Turban Dude says it every commercial break. He's like, The Masked Singer on Fox. Yeah.
Who says it?
What the hell's his freaking name? Nick Cannon.
Oh, Nick Cannon's one of the hosts.
Really? So this fucking show has become a worldwide phenomena, apparently, where celebrities wearing masks come out and sing songs and give you a couple guesses as to who they might be, and then a panel of celebrity assholes have to try and guess on who they are. But guess who's there for these celebrity freaking people?
Who are the celebrities, though? Jenny McCarthy?
Jenny McCarthy, who, by the way, when her name pops up on screen, she's labeled as a pop culture guru.
Oh.
I think it was at that point I was like, all right, I need to turn this shit off, but I kept watching because I was curious. So it's Jenny McCarthy. It's Nicole Scherzinger, who hasn't done shit since the Pussycat Dolls. Yeah.
Boosie.
That's all she was.
Boosie.
And they label her as a singer-songwriter, which that's absolute bullshit because you know they didn't write any of their own crap. There is, I can't remember.
I don't think the Pussycat Dolls wrote one single song.
No, they didn't write one.
They just covered other people's songs.
Effing songs.
Weren't they strippers?
There's the comedian Ken Jeong.
He's cool.
He's actually dumb as fuck.
Yeah, but I like him.
He's an idiot. There's nothing funny about him. Unless someone else is writing his lines, there's nothing funny about him at all. He was hilarious in The Hangover, but that's the only great thing he's ever done because everything else he's ever done has been a piece of shit. I actually started watching his comedy special on Netflix last night. It's crap. It's just him name-dropping celebrities. I turned it off after like 20 minutes. There was nothing funny about it. It's just him telling stories about, I know this famous person. I know this famous person. I know this famous person. That's all he did. And that's his stand-up special. He's not funny, and it's very apparent on Masked Singer when everything he says, he's reaching so far. It's just not funny. There's nothing funny about him.
You don't have a heart attack around him.
Dude, I'm sorry, but yeah, so Nick Cannon is hosting this thing.
He won't help you.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's part of his stand-up. He got to talk about how he's doing stand-up and people are having seizures, so he runs over and helps them, and that's part of his comedy special. It was hilarious. Dude, Nick Cannon. This dude, I don't know which is worse. When he wears his turbans, which I don't know why he's rocking these turbans, because they're not even like religious-style turbans. It's just like turbans straight out of Alibaba.
Okay.
But there's also one episode where he lets his actual hair out. It's even worse.
What are you talking about?
Nick Cannon hair. Nick Cannon's hair. Look up Nick Cannon's hair because it's ridiculous.
One hell of a rant.
It's ridiculous, this guy.
I guess he's wearing a turban. Did he say it's not for religious reasons?
Maybe it is. I don't know, but it looks like a prop. It looks like something directly out of the prop department. With every one that he wears.
Okay. Is he a Sikh?
I guess he's now a sheik. I guess.
Not a
I don't know.
sheik.
A Sikh?
Sikh.
Sheik.
But it's spelled chic with an H. Heck.
Oh.
Heck.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Okay, what is he most famous for?
But anyway, I was trying to pretend like this thing's not
Carey?
rigged. Yeah, that's what he's famous for is
And
banging Mariah
Drumline.
Carey. That's it.
And Drumline.
Yeah, there's nothing else he's famous
And
for.
Drumline?
Yeah.
What did he do in Drumline?
Bang some drums.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he banged some drums in Drumline, then he banged Mariah Carey, and that's why he's famous. For no other reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, this shows, but for some reason, people are going nuts over this stupid show. I don't get it. I don't understand it. America, what's wrong with you?
Oh, he's
Why-
also known for America's Got Talent. I
Why
knew he was on something.
is this such a phenomenon? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Everyone's going nuts. And it's rigged. It's fully fucking rigged.
Who are the winners so far?
So far, hold on, let me bring that list up real fast. Well, he can't. He doesn't have his.
God forbid he actually tries to do something.
I thought this was a rant. Why are we looking up shit now?
Because we're trying to figure out
We're trying to connect
why
with the
is this
audience.
thing.
I know Rumor Willis was somebody.
Rumor Willis was one of the more recent ones.
She was the sex panda.
She was the lion.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Sex panda. Well, same difference. No. So So they're trying to play like, you know,
Was it
so they have
Tommy
so
Chong
they
with
have
somebody?
these celebrities come out and then they get voted for
Do they
whoever
sing
has
good?
the worst performance. No, that's the best part. So they're trying to guess who these people are through their singing, and people are like, oh, they're singing live under these masks. No, they're not. People, they are not singing live under these masks. If you think they are, you should take a mallet and pound yourself in the fucking face, because they're not singing under these masks. That's not how it works. This is what singing sounds like. And this is what singing sounds like behind a mask. That's what singing sounds like. People are like, oh, they're singing live. No, they're not singing live. Everything's pre-recorded.
You don't think they have a
Even when
microphone inside the mask?
There's no, because you know what that sounds like?
Okay.
That's what singing inside a mask sounds like. You're a singer. You should know this.
I'm just saying, there is a
It's all
possibility.
pre-recorded.
I'm
It's
sure
not
it is.
possible at all. Dude, so Tori Spelling was one of them.
Okay, was
They
she good?
auto-tuned her.
Okay, you can
Like,
auto-tune
there's-
live.
There's
you know that, right?
Nothing. No. Like, how are you supposed to guess who these people are when you're doing things like auto-tuning and backing vocals?
Don't they give you-
Margaret Cho? Anyone can sing when you have backing vocals, especially Margaret Cho, who's a comedian, not a singer.
Well, she might have some vocal ability. You never know.
So here's the list in order from first to most recent. And tell me if this list doesn't progressively become more and more famous. Tell me this is not set up.
Oh, more famous. I see what you're saying.
Antonio Brown, number 1. Tommy Chong, Terry Bradshaw, Margaret Cho, Tori Spelling, Ricky Lake, LaToya Jackson, Rumor Willis, and last week was Joey Fat One.
Joey Fat One is more famous
Progressively-
than LaToya Jackson.
Progressively, they have been building up more and more and more to these big reveals, I guess. This thing is so
Don't they
set
already
up,
know who the
and
last
people
first one
are-
is?
Huh?
I think it's Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child, right?
No. The last ones left is there's a bee, there's a monster, and there's a peacock. Are the last 3 last? Actually, by the time you're listening to this, people, you're going to know a little more than I do. But I'm telling you right now, the bee is Gladys Knight, the peacock's Donny Osmond, and the monster's T-Pain.
How is T-Pain allowed to do anything? He's a professional singer.
Because he's actually singing. He's the monster. Which, you know, they want
Does
to
he
keep
sing
him till they get...
auto-tuned?
No, it's not.
You know
Actually,
what T-Pain just recently sang?
so what?
No.
This song's gonna get stuck inside you. This song's
Was
gonna
that
get
T-Pain?
stuck inside. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was.
So and this is how it's set up. So they make sure that the
Oh, that's
monster.
weird. He is promoting, like, a new
T-Pain-
movie.
Yeah, T-Pain, who's a professional singer and is like going to be one of the more famous people. They haven't had the monster come on the show in weeks. Why? Because then he can't get voted off, and he doesn't have to show who he is. This whole thing is rigged.
Are there
Everything.
Vegas odds
And
on it?
People are going nuts. Oh, I bet there are. I guarantee there's Vegas odds on this shit. People are losing their mind on this. I don't get it. I really don't understand it.
So, are you saying...
I'm saying that the reality TV conundrum that we find ourselves in here in America is getting worse and worse
Worse?
and worse. And I don't think there's a way out of it.
Is it
Because
worse
we just
than the-
keep
what was that
digging
show?
down into a hole that we're not going to be able to get out
Joe
of.
Millionaire? Wasn't worse?
Joe Millionaire?
that from,
I
like,
don't even
10
know what
years
that was.
ago?
Yeah,
That was like the
wasn't
original one. It was
Joe
the-
Millionaire was like the original Bachelor or
He
something.
was a fake millionaire.
Yeah, he was like the original Bachelor or some shit.
He was like a guy
Yeah.
who was actually like a construction worker or
No,
something.
this
Model.
Why? America, what's wrong with you?
I
What's
don't
wrong
know.
with you?
Somebody please throw a fucking grenade in this goddamn dungeon and kill us all.
Boondock, why did you... How do you feel about this show?
Boondock, have you been able to watch anything down here? No, you have no TV. Shut up.
Why don't you torture him with it? Make him watch that. And then give us a report.
What's that? All right, we'll get out of here.
Please, sir.
Time to leave.
May I have some porridge?
Well, thanks for reviewing Masked Singer, Scott. I mean,
All right, yeah.
Hopefully you can give us a weekly update on this now.
Yeah, I'm not going to. We're just going to leave. We're just going to leave the dungeon.
Can we take the express elevator?
Could I still have some porridge? I'm
The
thirsty.
door's closed. We can't hear you.
Yeah, you're gone.
Fuck.
Goodbye.
Fuck, Scott.
So yeah, let's get to an actual review, not the Masked Singer review. because that
not the review you were.
The only way to get out
deserve.
how outraged I am about this
Was to review it.
Yes. Yeah.
Not the review you deserved. The review you earned from Scott. We should have like a back it up thing where you back it up into the review. We're gonna back it up.
Back that ass up.
Yeah, we're doing some Umbrella Academy review stuff. That is a new show on Netflix.
Wow, that was really loud.
Yeah.
Netflix.
Much louder than I expected. Huh?
Some of us like it. Some of us think it's okay. Some of us enjoyed it. Some of us hate it.
Oh, it's a piece of crap.
It's all right.
It's the number 1 digital show on TV currently.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll
so,
take your ass back down to the dungeon. This is a piece of shit.
It's 10 episodes, so not too long.
10 hours. It's as long as
It's 10
the
hours
Marvel
you will
stuff.
never get back in your life.
Well, what do you think about it as far as the comic book?
Well, I can
thing
tell you
goes?
what. They released a new teaser or trailer for it. I guess it's made more for like radio, I guess, because it's more an audio drop. But I was able to find this. I figure I'd go ahead and give it a play and see what you guys thought, because it's more like an honest trailer, if nothing else.
Okay.
So now on Netflix, The Umbrella Academy. Watch as second-rate X-Men rejects make horrible family choices and do the same dumb shit over and over again. Because time travel. Featuring the White Nightcrawler, Harry Colossus, Bullseye, even though he's DC property, that's basically who he is. The Psychic Connection Hotline. That chick in high school who kept making shit up. And starring the only famous person in the show, Ellen Page as Emo Dark Phoenix. Because, admit it, you knew from the start that this bitch was gonna get superpowers and be some sort of super mutant. Seriously, if you didn't know what was gonna happen by the end of the first episode, then you probably should just give up on life and go play video games with Noob Noob.
I need friends.
That's a very specific, honest trailer to OrkU.
I was surprised. I was surprised that they would, take that route. But I guess they were going to be trying to be a little more honest with things.
Ah, yes. Well, you are correct. It is a comic book. It is based off of, as I teased before, the writer is the world famous
Gerard Way.
Gerard Way
Butler.
Gerard Butler. Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, or at least formerly. They actually did do. Did
you say
two
world
songs.
famous?
Yeah, they're a big band. The Black Parade was a big album.
Maybe like on like half of the world. Maybe like the Western Hemisphere.
And then the artist,
That is the only
Band.
hemisphere that matters there, so it's not that big a deal.
Gotcha. I guess he's also the creator and writer. The only thing that's a little weird about it, besides the fact that it came out in 2007, so we're a bunch of years removed from the origination of it.
But the comic came out in 2007.
There's not a lot of material to go off of. The original, so this
And it
first 10
showed.
series arc, yes, you are right. This first 10 series arc is based off of the Apocalypse Suite, which was only a 6-issue comic book, which, if anybody knows anything about comic books, that's not a lot of material to go off of.
No. And
So there's a lot of
obvious that
vamping in
There
this.
was 10 episodes of nothing, and everything was predictable. You saw everything before it was coming. There was nothing special about this stupid show.
It had a cool premise.
Well, it's like they that trailer said they cherry picked the X-Men and, mixed a little bit of, what is that? Quentin Tarantino.
Kill Bill? No.
No.
Pulp Fiction?
Back and
a
forth.
little
Yeah,
bit of
the
Pulp Fiction.
timeline thing.
Well, and the Pulp Fiction thing where they have the 2 hitmen who are dressed in suits. And the whole
dressed
thing.
in suits with these masks that
Mary
were
J. Blige.
kind of metal but weren't really metal. And
Well, that was one of the things that was kind of amusing. Everything in the entire show was ultra convenient. So when the rumor is looking for Vanya, she just happens to show up exactly where she is.
Yeah,
or
just-
her scarf blows off so she knows she was there.
Reasons.
Yeah. There's also a part where
I heard a rumor
they found one of those
that there
masks.
were reasons all over this fucking show.
They go into a whole thing where they discover the dog ear mask and they're like, oh, this is a clue.
Yeah.
And it's a
Oh,
clue
look.
for nothing.
It's
Nobody
a
that
clue.
connects to nothing.
Like, oh, there's this piece of fabric here that we obviously know is
No
a
reason.
dog ear from the mask.
Yeah, because we knew that because of reasons. So there's a lot of reasons going on. The general premise.
Everything was reasons.
Everything was
Everything
reasons.
was reasons.
The general
This whole
premise.
Freaking show is just reasons. Everything about this fucking show is reasons.
Bustin'.
But
Yeah.
the general premise of the show.
Wait a second. So what was the premise? 43 virgins had babies.
They
A-
never said they were virgins.
Jesus, take that.
A
You
disbanded.
think you're special? There's 43 other guys out there that are like, dude, come on, you're not special. I got no daddy too. Come on.
Are we mixing up like the
Why is
dungeon
it-
section and the review section? Because
Why?
you're ranting now when you should have been ranting in the dungeon when you were reviewing The Masked Singer. But
Why
you
is
just wanted
it
to eat
because
Ken
I was
John's
too
dick.
busy ranting on the Masked Singer? Why is there only 7 people with superpowers in the world, even though there were 43 of them that were born?
You don't
that day?
know that either.
So what? So the only reason these kids have superhero powers is because of their asshole dad who stole them at birth?
No.
So like none of the other 40 freaking whatever kids like amass their powers.
Since you didn't read any of the source material, you wouldn't know the answer to that.
Guess what? I didn't. And like me, I hope there are other people who are just as confused and are able to see through this shit show and realize that this was a piece of garbage.
Well, they don't tell you a lot. They kind of start in the middle and don't tell you anything. They never resolve that big mystery. They never resolve it.
No, they don't. They don't have to. Why? Because time travel. You don't have to resolve anything. You don't have to resolve a damn thing because of time fucking travel.
Okay, we get it. You don't like time travel. We're the show.
Dumb.
Was it better than
Nothing
Jessica
matters.
Jones season 2? That's
That's
our
a tough
litmus
one.
test for everything.
If find something worse than Jessica Jones season 2. If you can find something worse than Jessica Jones season 2, I will give you a prize. Listeners, call in and tell us something that's worse than Jessica Jones season 2. And I will personally come up with some sort of prize
And
to
he'll
give
mail
to
it
you
to your house.
and mail it to you.
I recommend that you use a post office box because you don't want Scott.
You don't know.
knowing
You don't want me to know where you live.
Yeah, and that number, by the way, is 866-777-ORkU. 866-777-ORkU, and Scott has guaranteed you a prize.
Yeah, I'll figure something. I'll make it worth your time. I
It could
promise.
be a bottle of some nice alcohol.
It
or
could be.
something.
It could be a bottle of alcohol. It could be a copy of Jessica Jones season 2.
You find something that's worse than Jessica Jones season 2, and you send them a copy of Jessica Jones. Wow, that's pretty awful. of
I
you.
know, right?
So, okay, did we talk about the general premise?
Yeah, disbanded group of superheroes reunite after their adoptive father, who trained them to save the world, dies.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Wow.
basic. I mean,
Yeah.
they all got cool powers, sorta. Some of them
No,
have
they
cool
don't.
powers.
They don't have cool powers. None of them have cool powers.
I thought
Klaus and number 5 are pretty ballin'. Like Klaus is just a pretty good actor. I like him.
Klaus
He's,
is which one? He's the
He's
not
the
so hairy
seance.
beast.
Yeah, Seance.
he's the one who could see the dead.
Yeah, played by Robert
so
Sheehan.
he's Psychic Connection.
Sure.
Sure.
Psychic Connection hotline.
I think what was good about the show is you're going to see a lot of these were like breakout performances for people, and you'll probably end up seeing them in other places.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
it's a good start for some of these actors. Klaus, yeah, you'll see him again somewhere else. The kid was really good. You'll see him somewhere else.
The boy.
It'd be nice if like they were in a decent show.
I like the roles that they played in the show. I thought, like I said, it was not super well written. I liked it. I did not love it. And I did like the source material, interestingly enough. I mean, they won an Eisner Award for the first release of it.
What's that?
It's essentially like the Oscars for comic books.
Oh, when the comic first released.
Yeah, It was a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Like I said, it was released on Dark Horse, and the biggest problem is they have very little material to go off of. They have the Apocalypse Suite, which they obviously completed. They have another one called Dallas, which was made a couple years later, and I mean, these guys just don't finish anything. They were supposed to release
Just like the show.
the Hotel Oblivion.
Just like the show on Netflix didn't finish anything.
Well, the most recent one. You done? Do I have to send you out? Do I send you out of the room?
We can't let him have vodka.
I know. Not this. No more smooth vodka for you.
It's a little too smooth for you.
Hotel Oblivion is the third one. He announced it. Gerard Way announced it in 2009. It was not released until October in 2018. So they're like four issues in. And they have a couple of short stories, but those are like 2 pages long and really don't add anything to the lore. So they're really stuck with a show that they're going to have to do what they did with Game of Thrones and write their own nonsense, which would probably be
Worked for Lost.
So I don't see like a long-term goal for this show.
I don't see a short-term goal for this show.
It's going to get another season. It was the number 1 show on Netflix. And you're going to have to watch the second season too.
I'm not watching the second one. You
refuse.
cannot make me. I will not. You can watch it, review it all you want. I will not watch it. I'm not going to. Unlike you, when I boycott something, I stand behind it. I'm not oh, well, someone else wants to buy me a ticket, I'll go watch it.
I review it for the people.
Yeah. No, I'm boycotting. I'm boycotting this and Star Wars. I will never see them. Take my word for it.
So you're never going to see the new Star Wars when it comes out?
No. I may accidentally catch it if it's on TV.
That sounds like
while
a
I'm
fraud.
walking past it. But I'm not going to sit down and watch the whole thing. I couldn't even sit down and watch all Solo. I fell asleep. It doesn't happen. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
What's the newest? We don't even know yet the newest one, what it's called. Is it coming out in Christmas?
Yeah, episode 9, but we don't know what it's called.
Okay.
Star Wars, Lost Hope.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But let's talk about some of the breakout actors. Do you have...
Aidan Gallagher as number 5.
Yeah, he's the kid who's supposed to be 12 years old. I have no idea how old he really is, but I thought he was excellent. He was
the one who outlived everybody, but then was able to time travel.
Yes.
He's the white Nightcrawler.
Yes, sort of.
Well, yeah, he's Nightcrawler.
Well, Nightcrawler can't time travel.
He's able to. Well, Nightcrawler can't time travel, but neither can he. Apparently, he's not very good at it.
No, he's not very good at it.
But he can jump from spot to spot to spot, which is a very Nightcrawler-esque kind of talent.
Yeah, I thought he was very good though, especially even compared to some of the other actors in the show. I just feel like he made them not look as good, like they weren't as talented.
He definitely made everyone else look like crap.
Like out-acted them.
Yes, absolutely.
The other one that I think will be a standout is, what's his name? Cameron Britton.
Hazel.
Hazel. So people may know Hazel already from Mindhunter.
Yeah, it's not standout. He already played a really cool character in another project.
But I think people might have been intimidated by the fact that you have this really tall, brooding guy who plays a serial killer dead on. Like,
yep.
It was so crazy from the show that people, his impression was like so literal that I could see him having trouble getting parts in other shows. And then here he's still a killer, and he's still, he's a hitman, but he has a heart of gold. So I thought he was very good. I liked him. I thought he had like a cool little side plot, was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Bird watching with the donut lady.
Yeah. He was an actual decent storyline in this chaos of crap.
Mary J. Blige is Cha-Cha.
She's a little one note.
She was a little one note, and I thought it was ridiculous to give her an action sequence. Like, why give this woman who's like clearly not physically capable? Like, she might be a very good hitman, but is she really physically capable of taking on Diego, who's like 20 years younger than her? I just thought that was a little absurd.
No, it was like I think they actually said like they sent the second class hitmen to take down the top hitman in the world.
Yeah. Well, the boy was the best.
They sent the B crew to take out the A team.
Yeah. I think they did.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? Yeah.
Something like that. What about
Leonard? What are you talking about? Klaus?
Yeah, who's he?
Robert Sheehan. He's actually sort of known. He's done plenty of stuff.
I don't know what he's from.
He's in a movie, Bad Samaritan. He was in The Mortal Instruments, that franchise that went real bad.
The Mortal... Oh, yeah, that franchise that went sideways.
Mortal Instruments in 2013. Then he was in Mortal Engines that was just recently released.
Who did he play?
I don't know. Someone small.
No, I mean in Umbrella.
Klaus.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He was in Bad Samaritan. He's in Mute.
Okay, he was in Mute.
He was in Geostorm.
So he's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in a lot of stuff. But this is one where he was actually able to stand out. He did play really good. Like, his character, he was nutty.
I thought he was good.
He was nutty.
I wish there
he
had
definitely got into character.
more interplay with number 6, the horror, Ben.
Oh, yeah, he was
very
awesome.
good too. Ben was really good.
I like the sort of the villain of the show, Leonard Peabody, or... Well, I don't know.
Oh, you know who he's from? That was another interesting character. I thought he was very good. So Vanya's boyfriend or what have you. Obviously, we're spoiling a bunch of things to this. But
We probably can because there's nothing to really spoil in this piece of shit.
well, what I wanted to do was, like, if people are going to invest 10 hours into it, we can give them a little extra insight. He was actually in Jack Ryan on the Amazon Prime show where he played the drone pilot who...
Oh, yes. Yeah, he was really good in that role as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another one. He was believable in that role. That was good.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I also thought he was an idiot because he kept leaving a book around for reasons. The only thing that would get her to want to not believe him and him not to be able to execute his plan is leaving this book that her dad wrote around. And she kept finding it because he kept leaving it out because he's an idiot.
Well, he is. Well, yeah, his plan and the outcome of the show are definitely two separate things. But it's funny because what happened, which was supposed to happen, and then they time travel to stop it from happening, and then it happens again because of reasons.
Well, what they're saying though is that the timeline is actually immutable.
Yeah, that actually didn't make sense either. That whole secret society that controls the timeline and makes these little adjustments for everything. One, it makes sense because it's not going to spoil anything to say that they want the apocalypse to happen for whatever reason.
Because it's supposed to.
Wouldn't that kind of take their job away? Like, if there's nobody to manipulate or make things happen, wouldn't your job, which is manipulating and making things happen, kind of go away?
I feel
That's
like you just
why
got
they
to not
stayed.
think about it too much.
You're thinking way too hard about a show that doesn't
isn't
think that hard about it.
It's obvious that they don't think about it.
It's time travel. Just give up.
So obvious.
It's
I also thought it was kind of silly. So we talk about reasons. At the very end, they're like, "Oh, if she finishes this orchestra thing, the world's gonna end." How do they know that?
Because
in the comic book, they knew it.
Because they know that she has the brown note is at the very end of it.
Oh,
and when you
okay.
play the brown note, everyone on Earth will shit themselves, and then that's the end of the apocalypse, and that's the end of time.
That's what. So you're just assuming they knew about the brown.
Yes,
note.
they knew about the brown note.
Right. So
It's obvious.
I just thought that was a little ridiculous. Not to mention, where did the seance get the gun from? I thought it would have made sense if she got it from Cha-Cha, but she clearly did not. And if you talk about differences between the comic book and the actual show, they are very close. The seance does get her vocal cords cut.
But she also got her throat slit.
The rumor.
People die when they get their throats cut, except here when they don't die
It
from getting their
happened
throat
in the
cut.
comic book that way, though. At least they were sticking to the source material.
Was she also lying on the floor for 2 days in the comic book, bleeding out?
She wasn't lying there for 2 days. You clearly didn't.
How
watch
long-
the
just
same
angry.
show.
How long was she bleeding out in the comics?
Who
In the
cares?
comics?
Yeah. Because maybe
An
that
hour or
was,
something?
maybe that's believable. But she was dead on the floor, bleeding out for hours.
No, she wasn't.
And hours when
wasn't.
they found her.
She wasn't. They literally were on the road right
And they
behind
said
her.
that she didn't get her carotid artery sliced. So
Yeah,
it
they
wasn't-
just cut her vocal cords. That's what you have a problem with? Of all the other reasons in the
I thought it was
show.
awesome. I'm like, holy crap, they killed her. And this is a really brave thing to do. And they're like, oh no, she's alive. She didn't bleed out completely.
It's not the way it happened in the comic book. So,
I wish someone could cut
They
your
also-
vocal
they're
cords
supposed
the more
to
you talk about
shoot-
this.
Vanya is supposed to get shot in the head in the end.
But
she lives too.
I would have loved for her to get shot in the head.
She was your least favorite actress in the show.
She just annoyed me, everything she did. Although it was
She was
funny.
just a whiny brat the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. That's all she was.
I just thought the ending where she did a fucking beam out of her chest and blew up the moon. That was awesome.
Was it her chest or her mouth?
I don't know what.
Chest, I think.
I think it was her chest. I was just like, is this how the world's ending? She shot a fucking laser beam from her chest and blew up the moon.
That's Scott Summers' brother. Actually, does that.
Havoc.
Yes.
I was like,
There
is
you
this
go.
a Dragon Ball Z?
Nope.
fucking
Another
thing now?
X-Men. Another X-Men reference. Not what you were
X-Men.
talking about.
Not that dumb thing that
Nope.
you were just
No.
about to talk about. No. They the other difference in between the comic book and the show is that Klaus's undiscovered powers that they kind of hint at, where his father's like, you have more abilities than you think, isn't just to bring the horror back and help them. He actually catches a piece of the moon because they don't stop Vanya from finishing the Apocalypse Suite, like the actual. So in the comic book, she gets convinced by a villain called the Conductor to get revenge on everybody for what how they treated her, to play this musical section that's called the Apocalypse Suite that will drop a piece of the moon on the Earth.
Yeah.
So Klaus ends up catching it somehow. You have to remember the comic book is ridiculous, and they hinted at it with some Easter eggs. There's a part where the rumor is talking to her daughter, and she goes, "Can you tell me about the time when about the Eiffel Tower?" The very first villain they have to fight is the Eiffel Tower that gets turned alive.
Is when the Eiffel Tower is brought to life.
Yes, and they have to fight it. That's their first villain. What? That's how weird. You have to understand, this comic book wants to be the Doom Patrol.
Sounds awesome. I would fully watch that. Why couldn't they bring this to the show?
Well, that was
the Eiffel Tower to life.
That was kind of
Oh my
an
god!
Easter egg.
I watch videos with the Eiffel Tower in it all the time. I love them. They're awesome.
So they try to be like I said, the X-Men meets the Doom Patrol, where it's just absurd. There's just absurdity to it.
I think I was just more disappointed because it started out. It actually did start out good. I enjoyed the way it started out, and then it just progressively kept getting worse and worse and worse, and then they ended it.
I thought there was a kind of cool part where they had the day that never happened, and then they redid that day, and it kind of they all learned things that they had to figure out later. I don't know. I thought that was cool. There's a very the character design is very different, but there was a couple subtle references where Diego, his nickname, which I don't think they ever use, is the Kraken. He has his uniform that he's wearing is blue and black. It's very subtle.
This is the guy throwing knives.
The guy who throws knives.
Why is he the Kraken?
I don't know. That's
Why
just what they
wouldn't
named
the
him.
dead kid be the Kraken?
The
With the
dead kid's the
tentacles.
horror?
He's the Kraken.
No, he's
He's
horror.
got tentacles.
He actually has intergalactic monsters living under his skin. That's his superpower.
That's awesome. And they didn't touch on that?
He's dead.
He
was already dead.
The only character who's cool, and they killed him before they even started.
Oh, and they killed Pogo. That was sad.
Poor
too.
Pogo.
Oh, spoiler alert! Killed Pogo.
Good little Pogo.
What did you think of the CGI?
Pogo's,
pretty
was good.
Pogo's face was right out of Line Book or the Mowgli.
No, it wasn't that bad. I thought it was more like out of Planet of the Apes. I thought
Yeah.
it was pretty close.
It was decent. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't as bad as other ones that we've seen.
And
so
Mom looks like a normal human being in the comic book. She does not.
she looks like a
weird.
robot.
Like half mannequin, half robot. She looks very weird.
She is. Well, so that's just she's the character from the movie Mannequin back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that? That's actually this is actually a sequel to Mannequin. If you didn't realize that.
Oh, there is a lot of mannequin.
There you
love
go.
in it.
There you go.
For those of you
this
who
is
didn't
the
realize
sequel
that.
to the hit movie Mannequin from 1923.
Diego, his costume is very reminiscent of the costume design in the comic book.
God, and you thought I wanted him for a while about the other show.
Yeah. I'm giving you insight into the differences between the comic book and the show and like those type of things. It's
So,
called analysis.
What
there.
did they get right?
What did they get right?
I thought a
Anything?
lot.
Why did you think a lot? You
I don't
just
know.
Enjoyed
They
it?
had fun little musical things, and there was good fight scenes.
What did you think of the? See, I was not that impressed.
Was
with the
that guy
music.
supposed to be strong or not? Like
Who?
Harry Colossus. Was he
Space
supposed to
Boy?
be Space
Oh,
Boy?
that's something they got
Was he
wrong,
supposed to be
too. There's a
strong or
difference.
not? Because like he's supposed to be like super strong, and then dude whooped his ass.
What dude?
The
Hazel?
Hazel kicked his ass.
Hazel dropped a, or did Chacha?
Chandelier.
One of them
No,
dropped a chandelier on.
First Hazel kicked his ass like actual hand to hand combat,
Well, he's strong, but he's slow.
and then
Well, his dad doesn't give him a serum. That's the difference between the comic book and the show. He doesn't get injected with like monkey serum. He actually gets his head transplanted on a Martian ape's body because he went to
Come
fight.
again?
He went to go fight the Martians on Mars and got injured and had to have his head implanted on a Martian ape's body as opposed to getting injected
Boy.
with
That escalated quickly.
instead of
I mean, that
monkey serum,
really got out of hand fast.
you know.
come again.
That's what happens in the comic book. I told you it's absurd. So instead of him living on the moon for 4 years, like throwing out diapers or whatever he was doing, there was other stuff.
Head transplanted onto a Martian ape.
Yes. That's the thing.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Also awesome!
You would have
Like,
rather
come
seen
on.
that?
I would have fully rather seen that.
I can't tell if you're being facetious.
Stay true to the comics.
Like all those. Well, that's where supposedly that Doom Patrol DC streaming show is actually very. I think it's very true to the comics, but.
Do we
maybe
have to
more
do that?
true
By the
than
way, do we
this.
have to do the DC streaming service?
Eventually, maybe
We're gonna have to, aren't we?
They're big. They're showing to be pretty big hits. Like Titans got renewed. I'm pretty sure Doom Patrol is going to get renewed. It's supposedly
There's a
it's
new
doing well.
Young Justice. They started a new Young Justice series.
I have heard that good things about it.
Is this supposed to be season 3 of Young Justice then?
Yes.
Now I have to.
Yes. Well, we might have to commit to that just so we can tell the viewers whether or not it's worth the
You
money.
have to take a week off and just do the free trial and then cancel.
So is Umbrella Academy going to replace Marvel's superhero hole in Netflix's heart now?
So does Netflix own
now.
Umbrella?
No, Dark Horse does, but I'm sure it's much cheaper.
Then
Marvel.
yes. If it's cheaper, then yes.
It's a good superhero show to watch on Netflix.
I will
Shut
give
your mouth.
I will give the second season a chance, but it has a good chance of losing me too.
It's already lost me.
And they have not that much more material. They really only have essentially
so
one other completed book to go off of.
is the second season's gonna have nothing to do with the first season?
I don't know
Pretty
the
much.
answer to that.
Pretty much because it's time travel. There's going to be nothing in the first season that carries over to the second season. Except nothing.
No, I don't think so.
Because it's time travel. 'Cause
Season 2 is just going to be
nothing-
Groundhog Day.
Nothing
Season
matters.
2 is called
Nothing matters.
I'll tell you what it's called. It's called Dallas. And it's supposed to be something
Dallas
about
Corbin.
JFK.
Dallas Corbin
Dallas Corbin.
and
Dallas.
Lilo Corbin. Multipass.
And it's only 6 issues, so it's another one of those like real.
So let's stretch
short-
6 issues into 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So you have to vamp for 4.
Yeah. Something about battling a living statue of Abraham Lincoln. That's one of the things they're supposed to do.
Ghostbusters did that. Although that was the Statue of Liberty. Same difference. It's been done before. South
Yeah.
Park did it.
So that's kind of the deal. I don't know.
I don't know. I will watch the second season for sure.
You will enjoy it.
You waste your time with that.
As long as number 5's in there and Klaus, I'm good.
You just have a 5 and Klaus show.
Yeah,
Did you go? Oh, here's the other
They
thing.
could make a sitcom out of it.
they could.
The Fae guy who can read dead people and the kid who's actually 800 years old.
Did you catch? What do you guys think was the deal with Reginald Hargraves? Did you get that in the last episode? Did you think you understood that?
Who's that again?
Reginald Hargraves,
The
the,
dad.
father, the monocle. Did you get it?
Get what?
What do you think? What you saw that part with the father? What did you think that was?
In the fact when he was younger
Yes.
with the violin?
yeah, with his dead wife and the whole thing.
Yeah. What about it?
What did you think about it?
It
What was your interpretation of what was going on?
I have no idea. It was his wife was dying and gave him a violin.
And did you see all the rocket ships going and all that?
No.
He looked out the window and there was a whole bunch of rocket ships and things like flying off into space. You didn't get it?
Nope.
No.
So what?
And he just shows up in America on a boat.
So it's not.
He's an alien.
Oh.
Just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
Their father's an alien. So there's
they
some more
weren't on
wackiness.
Earth.
Huh?
So they weren't on Earth.
No, the kids are on Earth.
But
they're all
when
on
he
Earth.
got the violin, his wife was not on Earth.
No, they were not on Earth. He was leaving Earth. Their planet, I guess, was dying, and he was leaving.
For
so he
Earth.
decided to go to Earth.
Okay.
And probably impregnate like 400 people. Or some alien probably impregnated all those people. Somebody did.
That's cool.
So just wanted you to know another little tidbit you might have missed in the beginning there.
Glad they made that abundantly
And
clear,
he
which would have
did-
helped the storyline.
And he did actually go into an umbrella factory.
Yeah, there was umbrellas there, wasn't there?
There was he bought an umbrella factory.
I bet you he stayed dry the whole time.
I bet you he did, especially when his kid's name is the Kraken and he
Yes.
gets wet. And he wants to make you sweat. That's why you need an umbrella. That's how we connect everything here in the OrkU universe.
There you go. And now it comes full circle.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Gonna make you sweat, keep you dry with an umbrella from the umbrella factory.
Oh, I think that about wraps things up, right?
Yes, sir, it does.
So, if you like what you heard here today, be sure to go over and follow us on Instagram at ork_u. Go to facebook.com/ourreviewswillkillyou. Go to YouTube and search Our Reviews Will Kill You, where there are hours upon hours of content for you to listen to and stream at your convenience. You can also call us. Remember, call us and tell me a movie or a show that's worse than Jessica Jones Season 2.
Not a movie.
Or no, just a show. Yeah, a show.
show.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me because I'm going to make shit up as we go
Plenty
along.
of movies that
Yeah,
are
they're horrible. Way worse than Jessica. But find me a show that's worse than Jessica Jones Season 2 and win a prize.
Win a prize.
Whatever prize that is. I don't know. It's just something, whatever I find in my...
Could be a nice bottle of scotch.
Whatever I find in my basement. I
Could
don't
be a
fucking know.
season. It
Could be
season
like
2
some
Jessica
old hand tools I don't use anymore. I don't...
or some
No.
old hand tools.
Just whatever I got lying around the garage.
866-777 OrkU. 866-777-7777.
7777. That's how you get a cap in Philadelphia. 215-777-7777.
Just keep dialing 7. Lucky number 7.
You'll either get us or a taxi.
Is that how you get a taxi?
Good luck. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, it's 215-777-7777.
Oh, okay. Who
Yeah.
knew?
Yeah,
Well,
it's good for when you're drunk. It's beautiful for when you're drunk,
we're
actually.
full of positive information.
Before Uber. Now that Uber's around, Uber's way easier because they do is hit home and they come pick you up. You don't have to remember their names. It's
Do
fantastic.
they tuck you into bed too?
Depends on how drunk you are. And if you're cute. If you're a cute girl, then yeah, I'm sure they will tuck you in bed.
I don't know.
Me, not so much. I get left on the front lawn. As always, OrkU is brought to you for free. Thanks to our friends over at ScottWillKillYou.com, the home of podcasts and video and content and the newly created but not yet designed Slap a Noob Noob games.
Slap a new.
Because yes, at ScottWillKillYou.com, Scott will kill you with content. And Blue Iron available on Amazon Prime once again.
And from all of us here at the Umbrella Factory, making you sweat. We love y'all.